Hi there, welcome to my views and news. Two new stories for you. Tensions are rising, very visible now. Tensions between TPLF and the Ethiopian federal government. TPLF a few hours ago issued a very strong statement rejecting PM Abiy's method of appointing the new president. Meanwhile, in Mekelle, things are out of control, people suffering, transport sector facing the impact of the tension between the two sides. The two sides reverting to pre 2020 war times. Same tension visible now. Let's start, viewers. So, firstly, what is happening in Mekelle? Then the statement issued by TPLF. How important is the statement? Well, in Mekelle, there is a crisis now. If there's crisis in Mekelle, you can imagine what would be happening in other parts of Tigray region. For almost 2 weeks, the fuel supplies by the federal government to Tigray have been suspended. I said, if you remember, I said that fuel supply will be used by the federal government to blackmail the people of Tigray, to blackmail TPLF and Tigray, and budget as well. You'll see budget denial to Tigray as well. Transport fares raised almost 4 times. There is no authority to control the prices of fuel in Mekelle because fuel is not available. So gas stations are charging prices, whatever they want to charge. No one there to implement any policy. The price increase announced by the federal government, 10% increase a few days ago, could not be implemented because there is no authority, there is no fuel. Fuel is being sold illegally on the streets of Mekelle, and its price way higher than the notified price of the fuel. Government service providers have almost stopped their operations. Travel of government workers almost to zero level. And gradually you'll see more impact of the denial of fuel supplies to Tigray, not just to Mekelle. Whatever fuel Tigray has reportedly is being stored. Tigray Preparation Fund, Tigray military fear that in case of some confrontation with the federal government, they might need the fuel. That is why the fuel they had in store, they're not releasing it. They want to use it in emergency. Though emergency always happening, already happening, people are unable to move now in and outside Mekelle. This is a situation in capital. You can imagine what is happening in other parts of Tigray. Now, TPLF issued a statement a few hours ago which shows direct confrontation between TPLF and Ethiopian federal government. 2 days ago, PM Abiy released a message. He asked the people of Tigray to send recommendations to his office by mail for the appointment of the new president. Before that, we know that the Debretsion-led TPLF delegation met with Prime Minister of Ethiopia, where they also met with Ethiopian federal government leaders. But no new president has been appointed. And PM Abiy asked people of Tigray to send recommendations. He said that it is in accordance with the spirit of the agreements, and he asked the people to appoint those who can ensure peace and security and who can work efficiently as the president of Tigray. He said that the temporary administration led by Getachew Reda could not fulfill the task of creating conditions for election in Tigray. Now, what is TPLF saying? TPLF says that Ethiopian federal government is violating Pretoria deal. The temporary administration established was the result of Pretoria. By the way, this is what Getachew has been saying, that temporary administration established was the result of Pretoria deal. Back then, TPLF disagreed with it. Now TPLF says that the temporary administration was the establishment of Pretoria deal, and now federal government is making new laws to justify its actions to create political divisions in Tigray. TPLF proposed the name of General Tadesse Varede in its meetings with federal government officials. It has been confirmed now. That's what I reported months ago, last year, too, that Varede was being recommended to be the new president. Back then, some people said report was false, but it has been confirmed now. Again, in the recent meeting between the Bretzian Group and TPL and the federal government, the Bretzian Group recommended Varede's name. And it's very unfortunate, by the way, that a political party is recommending a general's name to lead a region. That just shows how incompetent Tigray's politicians are, that they are giving their powers to generals. This is what happens when you create internal divisions and you don't run your organization in a transparent manner. But I've been criticizing that, saying that the Tigray region should be led by politicians, not by generals. If you empower generals, you pave the way for military rule in Tigray. You pave the way for more military intervention in Tigray's politics. This is what is happening. TPLF Debrecen proposed the name of Varede in its meeting with PM Abiy's government to appoint him as the new president. PM Abiy, I said in a video, agreed to consider it, did not appoint Tadesse Varede. Instead, he shared a social media message seeking recommendations from the people of Tigray. TPLF says that federal government of Ethiopia is involved in activities to defame, to tarnish the image of Tigray security forces and TPLF, which is a violation of Pretoria deal. Deliberately, conditions are being created to hurt the people of Tigray. Fuel supplies are being restricted. And unilateral decisions are being made to corner TPLF, which is a violation of Pretoria deal. It should stop immediately. So, now things are clear, very clear, that federal government is delaying the appointment of Tadesse Varede. Either it wants someone in place of Varede to be the president, some new name, or it wants a man of his choice to be the president in Tigray. Question is, if this deadlock continues, what will happen next? What will TPLF and Tigray military do? This is the question. Will they just continue suffering, or will they fight back? Will they hit back? Could there be return of armed hostilities? I've been saying people don't war in Tigray. There is no appetite for war in Tigray. But situation, the deadlock in Tigray between the government of Tigray, between the players in Tigray and federal government is alarming. It's getting worse. No solution has been found. PM Abiy does not want to give all the powers to TPL Debrecen, which has aligned with the Tigray military. He fears that if this group is empowered in Tigray, this group could form alliances with Eritrea, with Fano, and maybe one day all of them could march towards Addis Ababa. So he's hesitant to appoint Tadesse Varede as the new president. Situation unclear, very fluid situation. People concerned, they are suffering. If budget is not released, if federal government starts disrupting federal services in Tigray, if communication services are cut off too, we could see real catastrophe in Tigray. Let's hope the two sides sit and solve their issues. Thank you for watching.